love it because I had a number of personal appearances virtually this last week. It's Market Week. It's our November Market Week coming up. I just came back from Paris and Milan at the fashion shows. So I was really exposed to a lot of amazing people and what's happening. And so I had a lot of interviews and a lot of personal appearances. And they all say, "What is your favorite bag?" Well, this is it. So coincidentally, this is the bag, the Benvenuto Tote, style number 352158. I can't believe it's $186.75. But this is one of the first tote bags I designed, and to this day, I cannot leave my home without it. Okay, I might put something else inside of it. I might put a crossbody in there. I've always had my wallet with a wristlet, my Beverly wallet that I told you guys I carry all the time in here now. Even though this is a brand new wallet, I've switched everything to that Beverly wallet. It's amazing. But then sometimes even when I go out, I'll have a clutch, something a little more fancier with a chain or whatever. But this is my go-to. In my car, I throw it around. I travel on a plane. It's in several colors. This is the tan. This is a vegetable tan. That is the black, chocolate distressed, which is gorgeous. There, Riot Rust, which is there. That's the signature matte print. Love that. And then you have the black. Lovely. The black with the brushed nickel hardware is amazing. Then you have the vintage botanical garden in this tube that has the veg tan trim to it. And then we have the tan color. Then that's the one that I carry 24/7. And first of all, just to talk about this hardware a little bit, this hardware piece. Oh, we have the smoke. We have more colors. Okay, we have the smoke with the brushed nickel hardware. Olive. This is, oh my gosh. I didn't even realize we had any olives still in the marketplace because it's sold. This is the Rustic Mums with that midnight blue trim to it. And here's the Tiger with that brushed brass hardware. That looks amazing. Tropical Escape with the brushed brass hardware. And then what else? That's it. That's all we have left of the one. And QVCs are buying this in every color, every print. So that is not a lot left. And at this price, do you know there's almost 10 square feet of leather in this bag? And we're talking about full grain vegetable tan leather. I mean, look at all this hand studding all the way up both these sides. That's done by hand. It's not done by a computer. It's done by somebody with a mallet sitting there doing it. And when you receive this, you will be able to kind of tell that it's handcrafted. All the edges of this bag, they're all hand cut, hand burned. The straps are all hand cut, hand burned. What does that mean when I say hand burned? Maybe I should explain myself because I take it for granted all these years. Well, when you hand cut leather, and typically they do it with like an X-Acto knife, well, it's kind of like a little hair of the leather's on there, right? Because they're just doing it by hand. And the leather, you can imagine the thickness of the leather, right? And so when they cut it, it's got like little hairs on it. So when they sew it together, sometimes those little hairs, so to speak, come out. So what they do is they literally torch it and burn all of the edges. And it became a real way to tell about an authentic vintage bag when I started collecting vintage bags, especially in Europe and other places in the U.S. as well. That's how you could kind of tell the age of the bag of when they burned the edges. And so I wanted to continue that authenticity of really burning all the edges, just like they did when they hand cut leather. And I also think about when they did leather bags back a century ago, they used to do leather all for the farm. They did it for saddles. They do it for feeding buckets. They did it for more industrial things. And the leftover pieces started to become like, well, maybe I can make a little pouch for my wife where she could put her little mirror in there. She could put her little coins in there. And when she goes to market, when she goes to town, she has a little something. So anyway, that's how it all kind of began. So I kept that same integrity with that. This hardware was actually inspired by when I was in Bologna, Italy. And I went to a train museum, a train exhibition, and they were showing the people traveling on trains back in the late 1800s. And they had these huge train bags, and they'd have like this piece of hardware, and it was very industrial. You could tell it was hammered, hand pounded, and it was on a really bigger bag that they had all their belongings in it. And then they had it attached to the bag, and then they had a twist lock on it similar to this, and it just kept it all secure. And then they tucked in the edges like this so the rain wouldn't come inside. And then they put this on there like this. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to figure out how to do this, but for a tote bag. That could be that tote bag that we live with, that we take everywhere we go, on the plane, on the train, in our car, to the park, to the baseball field, to the office. And that's what this bag's become for me. This has become my grandma bag, my mama bag, my work bag, my travel bag, my family bag, like when we do go to a picnic. And then you've got a pocket on the back that's just amazing. Look at this pocket. And that's where I put my passport, my keys, my huge phone. But look at that. And it has a mag snap on it. So I just kick this under the plane, the seat in front of me, and it's amazing. So this is the veg tan color. This is my absolutely favorite, and the first original one that I designed. And the other colors that it comes in is the chocolate distressed with that beautiful brushed brass hardware as well. I love this article of leather. It's the white rust, which is literally the map of Italy. That's that vintage map I found in Italy. So it's there's black. You can't go wrong with a black bag, and with all that studding on there, and it is just so amazing. Here's a vintage botanical garden with the brushed brass hardware and the veg tan trim, like the bag that I carry. And then here is the tan. Oh, this is a classic. If you went to Milan, Italy, if you went to Florence, if you went to Santa Croce, this is the leather you'd find. This is the kind of quality of leather you'd find. Now, is this a smoke? Yeah, the smoke is like a soft black, but you can tell the highs and lows of it has a deep, deep charcoal black. And then this one is the olive. This olive distress, I thought we were out everywhere in the country almost, but it looks like we have it here. So think of olive khaki, that kind of feel. Then the rustic mums. I love this print. Inspired by that dress I got in the Cotswolds of England, which is north of London. And then the tropical escape. Okay, we all want to escape to the tropics, don't they? And that was what I did with this, with the black background and black trim, and then the tiger. So if you want to have some fun with the exotics, I know you ladies know what I'm talking about when we're talking about exotics. I mean, tiger, leopard. If you're that girl, I mean, if you love to be stopped and someone to say, oh my gosh, I love your bag, where'd you get it? Do it, get it, that tiger print. But again, this bag, I mean, it is so secure, but look how easy it opens. So, and then look at how it's made. Look at how this is like screwed in to the back side of the leather. And then this plate, look at the back of how this plate is installed on here. And so you're talking about something that is so secure. So, some people say, oh, I only like a zipper tote. Well, I like a zipper tote too, But I like a tote that I can get into easily, or maybe peek in, or throw something in the side. But I do love a secure closure on it. This gives you both. This gives you both. And like I said, what I thought was so fascinating about those bags on the train station is they were all leather bags, and they would if it started to rain, they would tuck the sides of their bags in. Now these are great, big, huge bags. They weren't like this, but look at what that does to this bag. All of a sudden, it gives us this really pretty shape of this satchel bag, and it stops the rain coming in. And also, guess what? Don't worry about the rain on your bag. Don't worry about the snow on your bag. It's leather. This is full grain vegetable tan leather. Okay, it might get a little wet. It will dry out. If you don't like the way it ages, you can always get a leather balmer or oil or conditioner and put it on it, but you don't have to. I mean, these bags age beautifully. They age beautifully. They get softer over time. I mean, it's a full grain leather. Look at how wide this gusset is on this bag. So you can just imagine. I carry my computer in here. I carry lots of files in here. I carry a cosmetic bag. I carry another bag, as I told you earlier. I carry either like a crossbody bag in here or a clutch or something that maybe, later on in the day, I'm going to want to go somewhere else. So, okay, I'm throwing out all this paper because I want to show you guys the inside of this bag. Okay, so we're going to take that out. So you've got this clip-on, which is great for your keys. So it's a little clip on your keys or your little borsa that we also sell, a little coin pouch that you can put on there. It's got a great zip back wall. Look how wide that zip back wall is all the way. That's where I put all my leads. That's where I put my AirPods and my charger. That's where I put my computer charger in there. I put all that bulky stuff that sometimes when we throw it in the bottom of our bag, it bothers me when the it uncoils and stuff. Then look at this. On the other side, you have two great big size pockets. So, okay, so maybe you want to put your eyeglass case in there. That's what I do there. You could put cosmetics on the other side, and then you've got this great area. And what I also love about this is the color and the kind of lining this is. This is a beautiful cognac lining, but you can see everything on the bottom. You know how sometimes you buy a handbag and it's all black inside and you can't see anything? Or maybe you buy a lining that's just real thin and it feels kind of like plastic. This is a beautiful faux suede-like lining. It feels soft. You can just wipe it off with a damp cloth. And I just love the golden color. And this is very authentic to all the vintage bags that I've collected over the last 20 years in Italy and other places in Europe. I don't know why they use this lining, but they did. And so I just wanted to duplicate that same lining. And then you know what else? This bag is not heavy. So even though you've got almost 10 square feet of leather, we were really smart about how we skived the back of the leather. We didn't take off the top grain. This is all full grain top grain leather, but we skived it underneath so it wouldn't be so heavy. This is the chocolate distressed leather with that brushed brass hardware. Amazing. So beautiful. Think of that old bomber jacket that maybe was in your dad's closet. It's gorgeous, ladies. Gorgeous. Then you've got the Riot Rust, which is that's the map. That's the signature map that I bought in that periodical shop in Milan. 2 dozen left. Here's the black, gorgeous black. Here's a vintage botanical garden. This is that olive that I thought we didn't have in stock. Here's the tan. This is the tan. That is the most popular, but it's the one I carry. And then smoke. That's gorgeous too. Really pretty. Olive. There's the olive with that brushed brass hardware. Amazing. It's like a khaki color, so really pretty. Rustic Mums, with that brushed nickel hardware, and then Tropical Escape with that brushed brass hardware that looks so beautiful.